Alright, new project, let's go. Open Unity, name the project, and then wait. I then planned out the entire project, because I still got time. When Unity finally loaded, I added a plane, and most importantly, a bean. When my computer finished devouring itself, I did some code, which is kinda difficult stuff.
Yes,
and it works.
Yes,
well,
no,
sort of.
No.
What I mean was, I did some expert high-level programming. I hacked into the mainframe. I did stuff, and wow, the player moves now. How does the player move, you ask? Well, the player can move left and right, up and down, and he can point towards the mouse pointer too.
Helicopter, helicopter.
But just moving is kinda boring, so let's give the player a weapon, sort of. So there we go, he can shoot arrows now, out of his chest apparently. But he can shoot arrows! I regret to inform you that we have some problems. Number 1, the inspector gets full, which is bad. But I have a solution to this predicament. When the arrow is spawned in, or born, you get another object to pretty much like adopt it, or to become its parent, you know? So like, yeah.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, what I'm talking about is the arrows now go into a nice drop down. But there's still a lot of arrows in the hierarchy, which is bad. But we can solve this by making a box. Oh, but how's a measly little box going to help this problem? Well, we can make it so that any arrow that goes outside of the box gets deleted, and the arrows just pooling on the ground can get deleted after a set amount of time. But we still have a problem, as the player is still a bean with glasses, and that's not cool. So, I wanted to see if AI could help me, so I went to DALL-E 2 and generated some images.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
And they look like crap. Yeah, thanks a lot, DALL-E 2. So instead, I went around looking for inspiration, and I found this game called Superflight, which had a pretty good art style, which I took inspiration from. Then I took a deep breath, knowing what I have to do, and then I hopped into Blender. And I actually made a pretty decent player model, which is really surprising. And then I textured it using a texture map, which is a map but for textures. I then gave the player a rig, which are like bones, so I can animate it later. I then put the model in Unity, and whoa, it's huge and white!
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that is we gotta give the player its materials back, and we need some animations, because sliding around is kinda lame. So I went to my favorite website, Mixamo, and found some pretty good animations.
He was running from a popcorn.
I then exported the animations into Unity, and you're probably wondering, why aren't his arms moving? Well, I'm using something called animation layers, so that he could use a bow and run at the same time. For the player to actually use a bow, I have to model one. So I found this reference online, which I stole I took inspiration from it, and I made this model. I then got sidetracked by the player's empty face, staring deeply into my soul.
A few moments later.
August 12, 2036, heat death of the universe. August 12, 2036, the heat.
Alright, Squidward, I think that's enough. So, I made a little face creator for the player so that he could change expressions. And the player having a face makes me feel so much more safe. Shoot, that rhymed. Since the player pretty much just nudged forward when he wanted to roll, I'm gonna give him some animations for that. And let's see if it works. Or not. Alright, let's try that again. And it works pretty well now. There we go. Anyways, the bow still kinda has to shoot. It's not there for decoration. And look, it worked, first try. Definitely. And to finish up, I gave the bow a string, and that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching.